Priestley's journey with an inspector calls. An inspector calls set in 1912 had been germinating in Priestley's mind since before the Second World War. Priestley finished the play in the winter of 1944-45, just before the end of the Second World War. Whilst writing, he became the presenter of a radio show that was on during World War II. He was popular. It was estimated that around 40% of all adults in Britain were listening to the programme. In his programmes, he shared positive messages of hope. His socialist viewpoints were very clear. He said that after the war is over, we must care for the less fortunate, build a land fit for heroes, a promise that he thought was betrayed after the First World War. Priestley understood this more than most people. At 21, he was wounded and buried alive twice whilst fighting in World War I. He thought that the First World War was driven by the upper class, and it saw his generation sliced into sausage meat by idiots. He could see it happening again with World War II. Many, including Prime Minister Churchill, did not agree with him. Churchill said, "Mr. Priestley's war aims are not the same as my own. He is part of the Conservative Party." The Conservative Party are against the views of the Labour Party. The Labour Party have views that were very similar to Priestley's views at the time. There are similarities to Priestley and the inspector, a key moment when the inspector is called a socialist or some sort of crank. Another similarity between the inspector and Priestley is that in the play the inspector says, "We don't live alone, we're members of one body, and the time will soon come where if you don't learn that lesson, we'll learn in fire and blood and anguish." So the play didn't show originally in London. Instead, it was shown in Leningrad. Leningrad is a city in Russia. They simply adore Daddy here. This is an extract from a letter that was written by Priestley's second wife when they both went to Moscow for the premiere of An Inspector Calls. The play first opened in Leningrad under the title "This You Will Not Forget." Then it opened in Moscow, where it was retitled "He Came." Russia was a communist country when it showed An Inspector Calls. Some people thought that this is why it was first shown there. Communism shares ideas with socialism, but it led to some communist governments treating their people very badly. Priestley became associated with this branch of communism, but despite this, he enjoyed Russia, although he did make it clear that he saw some things that worried him. Jane also said this about the way that people were living in Russia. Priestley was a man who never stopped sharing his ideas despite all of this, and a year later his play opened in London.